Welcome again to the old principal. 我就是老校长, and we have another English instructional program. This will help you in your listening ability because I tend to use a lot of English, sometimes a little bit of Chinese. Now, in today's lesson, I found this story. Well, I don't know where I found this story, but this will be number 270. One of us is adopted. Okay, one of us, 我们其中一位是被收养的、领养的。Okay, so before we get into this story, let's take a listen to it as Connie reads it. And some of it you will understand, maybe some of it you won't understand, but not to worry. We will be back to explain it sentence by sentence.
Story 270. One of us is adopted. Many couples that discover they cannot have children decide to adopt children. In this way, the child becomes legally theirs as though born into their home. The child takes on the family name and becomes a member of the family. There are millions of children around the world who do not have parents. Some wander city streets. Some live in orphanages. Adoption is one way that a couple can help solve the world crisis of children with no homes. And at the same time, adoption helps to heal the yearning hearts of women who have no children. Parents with only one child sometimes adopt another, so their child won't have to go through childhood alone. This was the case of Bill and Adele. They had just welcomed their newborn son, Andrew, into the world. But after the baby was born, Adele had a difficult time regaining her health. After a few days, the doctor gave them bad news. Adele's body had reacted negatively to the birth, and in all likelihood she'd die if she gave birth to another child. They were crushed because they had wanted 2 children. Bill asked the doctor about adopting another newborn male child. As luck would have it, a single mother in the same hospital had decided that she didn't want to keep her child. So it worked out perfectly. 12 days after Andrew was born, Bill and Adele adopted Alan. As the children were growing, Bill and Adele decided that they wouldn't tell the boys which one was adopted. And so it happened that one day, when the two were registering for preschool, the teacher asked for their birthdays. The Boulder boys said, "We're both 7. My birthday is April 8, 1976, and my brother's is April 20, 1976. "Well, that's impossible," retorted the teacher. "No, it's not," answered the other boy. "One of us is adopted."
Okay, many couples that discover they cannot have children decide to adopt children. 很多夫妻，当他们发现 that they cannot have children for many different reasons, they decide to adopt children. Now, let's stop here and just say that there are 2 words for adoption, 领养 and 收养. Okay, 收养. Okay, at any rate, adoption could be either one of these words, depending on how you want to use it. And they decide, since they cannot have children, that they will adopt children. Now, if I run out of time at the end here, I will tell you about my sisters. I actually have 2 adopted sisters. But we won't do that now. Let's go through this story. If I have some time, I will tell you about Heather and Janet, my 2 lovely sisters. They're adopted. But for now, let's go on to the next one. When they adopt in this way, 这样做的话, the child becomes legally theirs as though he was born in their home. So, 法律上它是真正的他们的 legally theirs 法律上的好像他们是生在他们的家一样 Cool. So they are legally adopted. Going on. The child takes on what? The name of the family. The family name. 家庭的姓, okay? And becomes a member of the family, of course. And they're treated just like anyone else in the family. In our family, there are 5 children. And my mother taught or treated 对待 treated those 5 children all the same. 2 of them were adopted. 3 of them were born into the family. There are millions of children around the world who do not have parents. 数百万, okay? Millions of children that have no parents. Some of them wander the street. 有些在街道上流浪着. That's sad. Some of them live in orphanages, 孤儿院, orphanages. So, and some, of course, then are adopted. In fact, going on, adoption is a way that a couple can help solve the world crisis of children with no homes. You see, we have a world crisis. 这个我们世界有一个危机，这个危机是什么呢？Children with no home. So, if you have no children, you can adopt a child. And it solves the crisis. 解决这个危机 because many children have no homes. Going on. At the same time, 同时 adoption helps to heal the yearning hearts of women who have no children. Now, I want to spend just a moment looking at these words, because sometimes the meaning of the words are a little bit different than what you see on the surface. 表面上跟真正的含义就不同。Okay, adoption 这个收养一个孩子领养一个孩子 helps heal the yearning hearts of women who have no children. Who are they? Women who have no children. 没有孩子的这个女人。Okay, it says heal the yearning hearts. What is a yearning heart? 渴望着 Okay, to heal 是医治 Or you could just simply say 满足他们渴望的心 Okay, yearning hearts. Okay, going on. Parents with only one child sometimes adopt another so their child won't have to go through childhood alone. Actually, as I mentioned, my parents already had 3 children. They adopted 2 more. It was not for this reason. Sometimes parents are concerned because if there's just one child in the family, then 可能是太疼爱, the child becomes spoiled. So to overcome this problem, they adopt another child so that there is a brother and sister or 2 brothers or so on. So parents with only one child sometimes adopt another child so that their child won't have to go through childhood alone. And obviously, to be an only child is very boring and 蛮孤单的, very lonely too. Going on. This was the case of Bill and Adele. Now we're talking about some real people. Real people, I mean, these are real people's names. Okay, usually I change the names. So Bill and Adele, they had just welcomed their newborn son. So what do you know from this? She had just given birth. 刚刚生产. Okay, and it was a baby boy. What was the baby boy's name? The baby boy's name was Andrew. Okay, so to welcome into the world, 欢迎来这个世界, it just means that the baby was born. Going on. And this is important, but after the baby was born, okay, 生产之后, okay, Adele had a difficult time regaining her health. Apparently, when she was giving birth to the baby, 很痛苦, and it influenced her health. 她的健康受到影响. And so in those few days after the birth, maybe few weeks, but just a few days, actually it was just a few days, we would say in English it was nip and tuck. It was 很危险. Would she live? Would she not live? So some people have a difficult time in the birth process. In fact, some mothers even die during the birth process. The baby lives, the mother dies. So that's a very sad situation. So after a few days, 过了几天, the doctor gave them bad news. Okay, 医生就带来一些坏消息. So what was the bad news that the doctor had to deliver? 带来呢? Going on. Adele's body reacted negatively to the birth. 生产的时候, Adele 的身体有恶劣的反应, okay? 恶劣的这个反应. And in all likelihood, oh, that's a nice word, 很有可能, all likelihood, likelihood, 很有可能, good word. It's a very commonly used English word. 很有可能, she would die, she'd die if she gave birth to another child. 如果她再生一个孩子, 她会死掉. Whoa. Now that is bad news. Why would something like that be bad news? Going on. they were crushed. They were crushed. Okay, to crush something is 压碎。哇 ，OK， 他们的心就破碎、压碎 ，because they wanted 2 children. They wanted 2 children. But now the doctor was telling them that really you cannot have 2 children. 1 child is all that you can have. If Adele has another child, she will die. Of course, they didn't want to take the risk. 根本就不愿意冒这个险. So Bill asked the doctor about adopting another newborn male child. So the father asked the doctor about 领养收养 another newborn male child. Now this is tricky. Okay, 刚刚出生的一个男孩. Okay, and so he's asking that, is that a possibility? Is that a possibility? As luck would have it. As luck would have it. That means that 他们的运气非常非常好。刚好那时候 as luck would have it, a single mother 单身的母亲 in the same hospital. So maybe close to the same room, could be, decided that she didn't want to keep her baby. 做决定她不能保留下去各种因素 You know, some people, their situation is not so good, and they have the child, but they cannot care for the child. 没办法好好养他了 For whatever the reason, 各种因素 she decided that she could not have another child. Going on. So it worked out perfectly. Perfect timing. 很非常完美的这个时间 Okay, because 12 days after Andrew was born, 12 days after Andrew was born, Bill and Adele adopted Alan. Okay, so now they have Andrew, and now they have a new son. His name is Alan. Going on. As the children were growing up, and this is always a difficult thing, when do you as parents tell your children that they are adopted? 什么时候是最恰当跟孩子说你是被领养的收养的 That's always hard. Many parents worry about this. But Bill and Adele did something very interesting. As the children were growing up, 他慢慢长大的时候 Bill and Adele decided that they would not tell the boys which one was adopted. So they did not tell the boys, well, you are adopted and you are our real child. They did not do this. And so it happened. And so it happened that one day when the two were registering for preschool. Now, what is preschool? Preschool is, well, there are several ways to say 摇篮班, 有时候幼稚园, preschool. In other words, this is a school for very young children before they formally 正式的上学. So they were going to put Andrew and Alan, remember, 2 boys now, one is adopted, one is real. They're going to put them in preschool. Okay? The teacher asked for their birthdays. So the teacher asked, well, hey boys, tell me your birthdays. Well, by this time they know what their birthday is. Most people have birthday parties, and for little children, they remember that when their birthdays are. All of my grandchildren know when their birthday is. Very important. Okay? The bolder boy, 胆子大的. So, 有些, the 2 boys grew up together, but one of them was a little bit bolder. The other one perhaps was a little bit more timid, 比较害羞. But this is 胆子大的 said, we're both 7 years old. We are both 7 years old. Okay? And my birthday is April 8, 1976. And my brother's birthday is April 20, 1976. So remember, they were born 12 days apart. My birthday is April 8. My brother's birthday is April 20. Going on. That's impossible, retorted Fan Bo. Okay, Fan Bo, the teacher. Retorted meaning, this is impossible. You can't, 12 days apart, that just doesn't happen. It cannot be 12 days. So the teacher says, 不可能啊,不可能啊. So, what is going to happen now? What response will there be? Going on? No, it's not, answered the older boy. One of us is adopted. It's not so hard. It's not so impossible. One of us, 我们其中一位是收养的. Okay? So, the message is, I don't know who is adopted, but one of us is adopted. Now, this is interesting, for me at least, it was interesting because, like I said early in the program, I had 2 adopted sisters. These 2 girls, I may even share a little later on a little bit about them. Their names are Janet and Heather. I was already attending university. 我已经是大学生. And these girls were quite young, 12, 13 years old. And their parents really did not want them. It's sad to say, some parents don't want their children. And so my mother convinced, 说服我的爸爸, my mother, that she should, the family should adopt these 2 children. Now, interestingly enough, they were like little girls, even though they should have been more like young ladies by then. But within the context of our home, they started to grow and to develop. And they became very lovely young ladies. In fact, my mother the girls knew that they were adopted. My mom and dad chose to tell them that they were adopted. But it's interesting. She didn't treat them any different than she treated us. 她对待他们，我母亲对待他们两位 was exactly the same as me. And that was good because sometimes adopted children are spoiled. But we were a big family. By now, how many do we have? By now, we have 5 children in the family. My brother and my sister and myself and the 2 adopted sisters. So we've got 5, 2 boys, 3 girls, and I'm the oldest boy. And this was wonderful. The girls were very lucky because my father sent them to university, 送他们到大学, and he paid all of their educational expenses. So in a sense, it was very, very good. Adoption is, remember, to heal the yearning hearts of mothers who have no children. 满足他们渴望的心. But it also solves the problem. There are many, many children that need happy families and parents. And so that's what happened in our family. We've been talking about adoption, but now we've come to the end of our lesson for today. Maybe you would like to share with me an experience that you have had. We do have an email address, is theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and we do have Wang Zhan. Our website is www.theoldprinciple.org. You know, it's been great to spend this time with you. I hope that you will join us next time for another interesting story. Until then, bye-bye.